Gosh, I have no idea why the heck I missed that. Sorry, guys. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, and welcome back to the Braden Timmons Show. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Braden Timmons, and today on the Braden Timmons Show, we are going to be discussing Scream 7. That's right, guys. Scream 7. We are on the seventh Scream movie. Can you guys believe that? I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think that we already have six of those. Like, Scream was kind of that franchise for a while where it was just like they only had 4 movies, and then it was like, we had Halloween 2018 come out, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, and then it was like we got up to where we now have 13 Halloween movies. We are one Friday the 13th movie away from having the sweet number 13 for Friday the 13th. We've had a number of Freddy movies. Chucky has had his own series, and then Ghostface resurrected again in 2022 with Scream 5, just called Scream. So the fact that we're now gearing up for Scream 7 is absolutely nuts. The trailer dropped this past week. We're going to go through the trailer on this show today, and then I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts on it. Obviously, there is a lot of controversy around the film due to what happened with actors and actresses when they were casting for, like, or not even when they were casting, but when they were getting ready to move forward with Scream 7. They had to do a lot of rewrites and stuff. Kevin Williamson stepped in to direct for Radio Silence. Melissa Barrero was falsely fired, even though we'll talk more about that here as we're going through this and whatnot. But regardless, the trailer came out this week, and I want to know what you guys think about what you guys saw in the trailer. Does it excite you a little bit more for Scream 7? Do you guys have a good feeling going into this movie? Definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts as we push through this show. I do have a poll question for the audience. Looks like that some of you guys are that have been early to the show say that you are excited. I think that it was like 86% or something like that before I jumped on here. But before I move any further, obviously I want to thank all of our Patreons, Good Real Hunting, and our lovely, lovely channel members. Thank you guys so much for joining and being a part of this community. It means the world to me. You guys can become a Patreon or a channel member. You guys can become channel members in the link in the description, and Patreon should be there as well. But regardless, we have a lot to get through here today. So I want to see who we got here in the chat. What's going on, everybody? We got La Montre in the house. What's going on? We are going to be diving into full thoughts and theories here today for a fact. We've got Marquise in the house. What's going on, Marquise? Gory, what's going on? Brett, man, how are you? We got Chris in the house. Surprise, Sydney. It's gonna be a scream, baby. I'll be right back. I love it. Absolutely love it. Davey Deathray, one of the awesome channel members. What's going on, Davey? How are you doing today, man? Um, let's see. And yeah, I think that we are all caught up here. I'm really happy with the peeps we got in here so far. This is gonna be great. And it is Sunday. Have your guy if you guys are NFL fans, I literally just almost had a heart attack coming onto this stream because the Bears almost gave me a heart attack. That Bears Bengals game was back and forth. That the last like 4 minutes of that game, man, that was enough to give me a heart attack just watching the game. Ghostface might be happy with that. But man, that was something. It's Sunday. Hopefully your guys' NFL teams are not giving you guys heart attacks as the Chicago Bears almost gave me one. Um, so that all being said, let's talk about how we got here. Now, Scream 7, the trailer came out 3 days ago. And I've gotten a number of messages online asking, have you seen the trailer? How come you didn't do a reaction? So I didn't do a reaction. I don't react to trailers anymore. I used to, like obviously back when I started my channel, I was doing a lot of reactions and whatnot. And I just kind of stopped that because I like to do these live shows now and come on and give thoughts. And I think that it's just much more interactive with you guys than just posting a reaction. And, but you guys are going to get my full thoughts here. We're going to go through the full trailer frame by frame. We're going to look at everything. Okay. How we got to Scream 7. Scream 5 obviously had to happen, came out in 2022. Scream 6 had to happen, came out in 2023, and I very much enjoy both Scream 5 and Scream 6. Scream 6 actually more so than Scream 5. I do very much like, I like Scream 5, but I love Scream 6. And then obviously there was plans to move forward with potentially bringing Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega back and whatnot because of like the way that Scream 6 ends with the Ghostface mask just in the street and you know I think that there's room to where they could have gone with that, like, with Sam as a character. I mean, I liked Melissa Barrera quite a bit as Sam a lot, and I really do think that there could have been a path to go for that, but Melissa Barrera also has been on a podcast saying that, she was only initially signed on for 2 movies, and she got those 2 movies, and yeah, it's unfortunate that they ended up cutting ties with her, and it's, just due to, uh, political talk that she posted online, and that's all I'll say about that, but that was the reason as to, why they ended up cutting strings, and she was wrongly fired, I think. I think that she was wrongly fired. And, you know, they ended up bringing Kevin Williamson on. I know that there was a lot of back talk with, Nev Campbell coming back to Scream 7 because they didn't pay her what she was asking for Scream 6, even though that her screen time was kind of limited. They didn't spend the money on her, but now that they had cut ties with Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega said that she didn't want to come back. She felt that the story was just kind of done where it was, and then they end up bringing Nev Campbell back. That's exactly how we got to the story that we are going to be presented in Scream 7. More or less, right? Like I think that I gave kind of just like a short version of it. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I'm sure went on behind the scenes, but that's essentially what was going on. But Nev Campbell definitely did not get what she was asked for Scream 6, and so that made her not wanna be a part of it, but now they clearly needed to do something for 7, so they're like, "Hey, we'll pay all this money," and they're not stopping there because we've got, Courtney Cox coming back, David Arquette is coming back, shit, Matthew Lillard is coming back. I mean, everyone, like, they're packing this thing, man. The first thing I'll say about it is that it feels like, based on everything I saw in the trailer, it feels like a very high budget, studio produced fan film, okay? A very good looking fan film because there is so much nostalgia in this trailer, and there is a lot of references to other movies, like Sydney's daughter being named Tatum and everything. That's kind of just what it feels like upon watching the trailer for the first time, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. For those of you that are excited, please keep your excitement up because we do have a lot to chat about here. But that's just my initial thoughts on it. That's how we ended up getting here. It feels like a very high budget fan film produced by a studio because of all the nostalgic elements that we have here. And, you know, Scream is very meta, right? So it has a lot of pop culture references, and I'm sure we're going to see a ton of those within this film. And, that's one thing I loved about Scream 6 in particular when they're sitting in the park and they're just referencing all the movies and talking about who's next. And it's just a really good stuff that the Scream franchise is very good at doing, and that's definitely one thing I'm looking forward to seeing here in Scream 7. So, I'm excited. I'm proceeding here with caution. Um Team Lutton, what's going on? Welcome in. And Davey, I totally agree. Live streams are what's up. You do a wonderful job with your live streams as well. So I totally agree here. Um, T. Parker Evans says Scream 7 looks like it's going to be the true return to form for the franchise with Kevin directing and co-writing, Marco Beltrami scoring, and Nev Campbell as the main star. It's the H18 for the series. That's a good way to look at it. It absolutely is a good way to look at it because that could be nothing but true, right? So also let me pull up some information here so I have it as we navigate through this. Um, Something tells me that there's also going to be more to come because it's like we didn't on the poster. which the poster's really cool. There was someone I posted on Halloween a picture of Michael Myers in the flames in Halloween Kills of him standing on Laurie's porch, which is one of the best shots in the franchise, and that scene really is one of the best in the entire franchise when he takes out all the firefighters and everything. But someone commented on my Facebook post saying there's just something really awesome about slashers with fire. And in this trailer, we get a shot of Ghostface burning down Stu's original house, walking away with the fire behind him, and it just looks great. It does look very cool. So, it's kind of hard to argue against that, right? Like it's something about backdrops with fire and the icons just like walking towards it or just standing in it. It's just awesome. It's just cool stuff. It's stuff that you do for the fans, for the audience, and everything, and it's just really awesome. So, okay, we're 12 minutes in. I think I've given my pre thoughts. So I'm excited. Let's jump into this trailer here. Um, Share. There we go. Okay. You guys should be able to see everything. I'm gonna keep it muted for the sake of, copyright and everything, so you guys aren't gonna be able to hear it. We're just gonna kinda go through frame by frame here. So, kickstarting this thing, looks like that we've got a couple here. Looks like they're staying in Stu's house. Looks like it is a Airbnb, actually. It's the Psycho Killer B&B, and you see over here that you've got stab posters and everything. This is kind of like what Airbnb is doing with, like, Harry Potter. They have a bunch of movie-based Airbnbs now that fans can go and stay in and everything. So, again, this is very meta, so this fits perfectly into what we see in the world today. Like, people can go and stay in their favorite, movies, Airbnbs, and everything. So we see this couple, they walk in, of course, they're taking pictures and all that stuff. I like this a lot. The, motion sensor, Ghostface, like, this animatronic is really cool. So you've got, like, the animatronic here for Ghostface as it moves, and then, of course, we've got real Ghostface who pops up right behind her. I have no idea if I'm supposed to know, what their names are, or not yet. I'm sorry if, I don't know who these characters are yet. I know it's a couple. They're staying here, and here's Ghostface. So Ghostface comes up, I'm sure kills the guy. We don't see what happens to the guy, but he's chasing after the girl here. Falls. Now this is interesting because she's hanging on the chandelier. Ghostface is knocked out. I mean, dude, like, she's got this. Like, really? So I understand this from, again, a cinematography standpoint, but I mean, we see Ghostface now rolling back over, and I mean, either way, a body's gonna land on you. Like, I do like this in terms of, like, from a filmmaking standpoint, it's cool, but it's like, dude, like, you still have someone landing on you as she's falling. She can easily hit the ground, and then Ghostface can easily just stab her. But instead, he's gonna take that hit, I guess, and just stick the knife right through her. Now, my hope is that we actually see the whole thing. I would love to see what this kill actually looks like in the movie, because I feel like we can do something, like, really cool. It has a chance to be very violent. Like, can you imagine if, like, both of the arms, like, go through her stomach or something? Like, and you actually see it, but something tells me this is just gonna be the simple, she's gonna fall, the knife is gonna hit, and it's just gonna be the slash, and it's gonna say "Scream 7." That's probably what's gonna happen, but maybe seeing the knife go, like, really dragging this scene out could be very cool. Like, the knife goes completely through her, and then she's, like, kind of crawling, and then he comes up and does the basic knife slash, and then we get the Scream 7. Like, I love the "who gives a fuck about movies" in Scream 6, you get the knife slash, and, um, then we get the title card, followed by the great song in my head, which I play a lot. I love that song. It's a great part of the soundtrack and everything. But yeah, I think that they have a really cool opportunity here to really drag this thing out, if you ask me. Like that's what I'm thinking. That's what I would like to see. Davey says, I pick up some big time David Gordon Green Halloween influence here, particularly 2018 and Kills. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of stuff in this trailer that definitely reminds me of the David Gordon Green trilogy, which again, Scream is very meta. It likes to honor different slashers and everything. I'll be curious to see if, more of Halloween is mentioned throughout the movie. Destiny, what's going on? Welcome in. I know that I was just talking to you pre-stream, and everything. And guys, make sure you guys are voting in the poll as well. Make sure you guys are voting because so at the end I can see who's excited and who's not. For Scream 7. So yeah, jumping back into this scene, I really do think that they have a chance here to really drag this out and make this opening kill violent as hell, man. I'd love to see how this whole thing plays out. But yeah, either way, there's been a lot of commentary like, yes, technically she's gonna smash Ghostface, but I mean, still could be very, very cool here. We got an unknown Woodsboro, California, number calling, and what does Sydney do? She just answers, right? Because unknown Woodsboro, who's it gonna be, right? "Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me?" Awesome stuff, man. So here we got Sydney Prescott, man. We're seeing her now. It seems like that she's trying to live a peaceful life, but as she says in Scream 5, she's Sydney fucking Prescott. Of course she has a gun, right? Of course she has a house full of traps, right? Who have we seen do that before? Uh, Laurie Strode. Yeah, that's correct. Nobody's ever done that before, right? They've gone through a traumatic experience and they have a whole thing. Do love this. If you guys pay attention to the theater, right here, we see Texas Chainsaw Massacres playing. So that's fun. That's a fun little slasher reference. Saturday, 7 and 9:30. Very, very cool right there. Yeah. They have, TCM Polaroid sounds here, and then we see the TCM theater. Yes, exactly. So right here, we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Very, very cool that they do this. Chris Schober says, "Can you do a watch along for the Halloween The Rise from Hell full movie fan film on YouTube?" I'll look into it. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I'm always looking for recommendations on what we can watch, whether it's here on YouTube or elsewhere. Davey says, "Yeah, T, as much as I want the opening to be a flashback to Marine's death, I think it'll be this scene with the house burning to go into the title screen." Ooh, I didn't even think of that. So maybe he's burning the house down. You think that he's burning the house down like the final shot of the trailer is the opening scene. That's interesting. I haven't seen that yet. That's good. I like that a lot. All right, so yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've got Sydney's daughter. Is this the girl from? Let me see who this is. Oh my god, it is. She's from. So this is Isabel May. She's from 1883. She plays Elsa Dutton. I'm like, why does she look so familiar? This is a great role to really continue her career and everything. So I know her from the Yellowstone spin-off series, and then she narrates some of 1923. She is she is good in 1883. Her character is kind of that annoying teen, if you will, but she looks like she's going to be much more vigil and serious here. I mean, for God's sake, she's Sydney Prescott's daughter, right? So we're probably gonna see some stuff here that that hopefully gives her a lot to do instead of just being the victim and running away, right? So Dane, what's going on, dude? I'm wondering if them burning down Meyer House is symbolic of putting the Stews alive rumors to bed. You know what? Maybe because you know what are they gonna do to bring these characters back? We have Roman coming back. We have Billy coming back. We have Stu coming back. We've got Dewey coming back. So many characters are back that we've seen from the franchise. I just hope that it's in a cohesive way that makes sense story-wise, right? So that's what I'm really, really hoping here is that, you know, it's not just something that is just idiotic, but hopefully it adds flavor to the franchise. That's what I'm really hoping. But yeah, this is a really good point. So maybe it's symbolic of putting the Stews Alive rumors to bed. What are your guys' thoughts of Ghostface actually being Stu? What are your guys' thoughts? Do you because if and I'll cover this right now, because if they end up doing that, that is simply just going to be fan service 150%. It's like, hey, he's back. He's Ghostface one more time for the fans. You know, fans have wanted that. Like half of the fan base has really wanted that for the longest time. And half of the fan base has been like, no, he's dead. Leave it alone. I'm at the point to where it's like, I don't want him to be Ghostface in this movie, but I feel like that if that is going to be the case, it's gonna be fan service all day. I was talking to Mike Shabani, and he thinks that it's going to be, um he thinks it's gonna be Stu. He said well, he doesn't think it, he just has a gut feeling that it's going to be Stu because Ghostface is asking about Sydney and his or hers childhood, all that stuff. Like there could be a lot of ways that they can kind of navigate it, but I'm just curious to like many of you are. The thing about these movies is you're just curious to see who it's going to be, right? And I don't want to be able to guess it. Like if it is Stu, it's just going to be a huge fan service piece and that's it. So yeah, right, Dean. The stew argument is so controversial, and that's why when it was finally announced that Matthew Lillard is back for Scream 7, everyone's like, "Holy shit." Like, I mean, it really was one of those moments where, again, like, the half of the fan base that was like, "Stu's dead," was even in awe, really. It's like, "Well, what the hell are you gonna do?" Right? I mean, if he is Ghostface, that's gonna be wild. That is gonna be wild. So, Spicy Oreo 15, I love the name, by the way. Oreo is my favorite cookie of all time. Stu was supposed to be alive this whole time according to the original script of Scream 3. Yes, Matthew Lillard did say in Scream 3 that he was supposed to come back and be the killer at the end of Scream 3. So, I mean, it could happen. It could happen. It very well could. Those of you that are watching that are like, "Yes, I want it to be Stu. I really want it to be Stu." Maybe you'll get it. Those of you that are like, "I think he's dead. I think that this is just gonna be maybe flashbacks or maybe voice work," because we do hear his voice at the end, you know? Um, Bretman says, "Better not. Stu is dead." T. Parker says, "So you and Destiny actually have very similar thoughts here. I believe it's going to be an AI stew, not the real stew. Maybe that very well could be the case. Again, maybe it's just voices and AI because AI has become a very big thing. So there's a lot that you can do with it, especially in today's day and age. So I guess we'll see what happens here, man. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what goes on. Davey says Stu being alive is such a tricky thing to write well. I don't know how you do it without alienating a big part of the fan base. Not only that, but Scream has always been relatively grounded. Yeah, it has. But I mean, look, even what was the hold on, let me see here. The Ghostface, one of the Ghostface from Scream 6. Quinn. Quinn. Uh she was one of the Ghostface in Scream 6 and she died earlier in the movie. Same thing with Roman in Scream 3. I mean, there's the scene where Gale checks his pulse and he's clearly not breathing. and he seems to be dead, and then he ends up being Ghostface, and he's Sidney Prescott's long lost brother. So, there's so much that you can do, but like, yeah, Davey, to your point, how do you do it without alienating a big part of the fan base, right? Because I feel like then that like it would kind of it would be very divisive. I'd say that that would be more divisive than Halloween Kills was when it didn't have any story and it was just Michael killing people and the characters were just so bland, right? Because there are a lot of Halloween fans that talk about the new trilogy and especially Halloween Ends being divisive. This would be incredibly divisive. So, but okay, let's continue here. I'm loving your guys' thoughts, man. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So we've got Tatum Prescott here. So Tatum is Sydney Prescott's daughter, again played by Isabel May. Uh, know her from the Yellowstone spinoff series. So, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This shot is very reminiscent of Allison catching up to her friends. Like even the color grade right here. This whole thing just screams the Halloween 2018 trailer. I mean, everything about this scene right here, or not even the trailer, the scene in the movie. Everything about this is Halloween 2018. So, yeah, this is all interesting stuff. We've got McKenna Grace right here. Now, she does have plaid on, and I'm going to bring up the plaid theory. I've heard this. Destiny just talked to me about this, and my sister actually talked to me about this not too today, actually. But if you look here, she has plaid on. And the plaid theory is that Ghostface in the past, in past movies, have in a form worn some sort of plaid. So maybe we're seeing Ghostface right here through McKenna Grace. And what is McKenna Grace's character going to be? Does she have a name yet on IMDb? Let me see here. No, that she doesn't have a name right now on IMDb. The only ones that we have is Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott, Courtney Cox, Gale Weathers, Isabel May, Tatum Prescott. Um, obviously, Jasmine Savoy Brown is Mindy. Mason Gooding is Chad. So these are all people that we know. Joel McHale is playing Sidney Prescott's husband. So it can kind of be up in the air here with what we're doing. But yeah, Ghostface has apparently worn some sort of plaid in the past, and so McKenna Grace right here is in a plaid skirt. Maybe she's Ghostface, or at least one of the Ghostface. I wonder if we're gonna go back to just maybe there being one. The only Scream movie that we have so far where there have been one Ghostface is Scream 3. Every other movie there have been multiple Ghostface. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 4, Scream 5, Scream 6, multiple of them. Scream 6 being the first that we saw 3 Ghostface. So I'll be curious to see if we stick with one or if there's multiple. What do you guys think? Are you guys thinking one ghost face, two, or maybe even more than two or three? Let me know in the comments because we can potentially see something here that maybe we haven't seen before too. So Bretman says there's my prediction for Ghostface Killer blonde in pink. So okay, so you're thinking the girl in the plaid. Okay, Bretman, I see you. Brandon here says, I think they'll write an intricate reason as to how he survived. Maybe, yeah, that could be it, as well. Davey, sweet, another 5 foot 9'5", 95 pound ghost face. Yeah, right. Um, very much like Mikey Madsen from Scream 5. So yeah, that could be it as well. Davey beat me to it. Yep. Byron, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Spicy Oreo says it would only feel weird that Dewey wouldn't know only part of the rich parents. That wouldn't make too much sense. Yeah, yeah, that is true. I didn't even really think about that. So watch it, Davey. Madison won an Oscar. What other Ghostface has done that, huh? Yeah, that is true. She did go on to win the Oscar for Honora this past year. So Byron says, "Do you think AI will be the big poor point of Scream 7, I'm thinking that the daughter of Sydney is Ghostface and maybe Gale. See, I don't think it's gonna be Gale. I really don't think that it's gonna be Gale. I was talking to Destiny earlier, and I think I mean, but if it was Sydney's daughter, I mean, they did that with her cousin in Scream 4. You know, having it be her daughter, I don't think that I would personally like that. I think that that would just be stupid. I think that they need to choose another route or another ghost face to go with because I think the daughter route would just be like we've already seen that before in the franchise. But I mean, it's a good theory, Byron, because it could be anybody, right? So I think two killers with a phone call to Sydney at the end of the movie, and we will get our cliffhanger that way. Yeah, you know the thing is that if this movie does well, we're likely going to see a Scream 8. So there's that. I did see someone in the chat here say that we're getting good fall vibes here as well. I'm sorry if I missed that comment. Um, where who said that? Let's see here. If you're in the chat here, I'm sorry if I missed that, but I do agree. Like, yeah, you're getting fall vibes. Like, I feel like that if this did take place during Halloween, we would have seen more pumpkins and stuff like that um in the trailer. But yeah, we are getting very fall atmosphere around here as well. Oh, Dean says that Scream 8 is in early development already, apparently. Wow, interesting. So I was talking to Des before the stream, and she said that she doesn't think we're going to get a Scream 8. I had no idea that Scream 8 was already in development, but it doesn't surprise me because, you know, why do they keep making these? Money, right? People are going to see them, people are supporting it. Of course, it's gonna continue. So yeah, and that was the one thing that surprised me on the poster too, is it didn't say like the final showdown between Sydney and Ghostface. No, it said burn it all down, and that's it. Like there could clearly be more on the way. So that's very interesting. That oh, it has. I haven't seen any articles on it being greenlit or anything. So, you know, I can't confirm nor deny anything. You guys are saying that Scream 7 is in or Scream 8 is in early development. Scream 8's been greenlit. I haven't seen anything. If there is an article, I'd love to see it. So if you guys have a source, please link it here and we can go through it together. But okay, continuing the trailer. So we've got the friend group here. We've got Tatum Prescott walking with her friends. Um, Sydney saying, "Wow, you sure know a lot about me." For another asshole hiding behind a voice changer. And this right here is Sydney's little coffee shop, the Little Latte. Now, this was something that I wasn't sure was going to be true when I was seeing stuff, like, you know, they post stuff on Reddit and they post stuff on Twitter and all that stuff. But yeah, the Little Latte is Sydney Prescott's coffee shop that she is running. So, you know, Sydney's trying to build a life for herself, own a coffee shop owner, all that stuff. So I do like that shot of the house. The house here very much reminds me of Jenna Ortega's house from, like, the opening house from Scream 5. That's what I'm getting a ton of vibes on. So Tara's house from, Scream 5, the windows look very, very familiar, just not with the porch or the front door or anything like that right here, but Tara's house from Scream 5 is kind of what this reminds me of, a tad. I do like the hallway light that goes out, and I also like someone's biggest fear, or a lot of people's biggest fear, is an attic door opening and something crawling out of it. And now we get to see Ghostface literally open the attic and jump out of the attic into Sydney's house. So, you know, this is completely something that we haven't seen before. For sure. This is a new type of thing. Like he's not hiding apparently. He's in Sydney's house and, jumps out of the attic. Really, really good stuff right there. I do like that quite a bit. Yeah, Ghostface with the Batman landing, superhero landing, right? As Deadpool would say, like, superhero landing. Dean says 7 is going to inevitably do well enough to warrant another movie afterwards, so it's not surprising that they're already moving forward with plans already. Well, yeah, they're probably looking at, the writers, and maybe Kevin Williamson will continue for Scream 8, being that this one does well. I will say, for the first time Kevin Williamson is directing one of these movies, this movie looks really good. Like, I mean, the shots actually look really good, for a film, and obviously he's been involved with Scream since the first movie. He wrote 1, 2, 3, and I'm pretty sure he wrote 4 also. There wasn't new writers until 5 and 6. So, for the first time that he's directing in this franchise, I think that it looks great. And saw people in the chat earlier talking about how this kind of feels more Scream than really 5 or 6 did. So, that because not Sam, Sydney Prescott is the main hero of the movie. She's the final girl. She's back. So, he says that he's not hiding this time. There's the classic Ghostface run, boom. Classic Ghostface, dude, all classic stuff right here. And very much like Laurie Strode, she has her own personal hideout. She's been preparing for this for a long time, for Ghostface to come back after her or have another asshole come after her in a Ghostface costume, and so she's been preparing for this. She has a lockdown in her house naturally, right? Um I do like this stuff right here. This is all some good stuff with the inside the walls. Kinda gives me slight Conjuring vibes because of the inside the walls and everything, but I do like this Ghostface tapping on the wall. Dude, why would you put your head right against the wall that he is likely going to stab right through? Because if you look behind her is brick. So she's clearly leaning against the wall that is about to get stabbed through. Like, I know this is classic scary movie or horror movie, really. This is classic horror movie tropes where characters just do stupid things, and this right here is very stupid. Tatum, you're not showing good survival skills already. You are Sydney Prescott's daughter. You should not be placing your head against the wall that a knife is going to come through. Obvious, like, he's right outside there. This is Ghostface. Come on, Sydney is supposed to have taught you everything to look out for. Marquise says, "I hope Scream 8 comes back to Atlanta, Georgia. I want to be in it. I'm so upset." Got an email. I did not get an email back for Scream 7. Well, hey, maybe it'll be back for Scream 8. Because Scream 7 is likely going to do well. Ghostface is a recognizable enough character. They market these movies pretty good. They've been marketing Scream 5 and 6 were marketed very well. I could see them going a very similar route here with Scream 7. The marketing for Scream 7 already started. The poster looks cool, with Ghostface and the fire and all that stuff. It looks great. So maybe he will be back. Fretman here says Ghostface with the Batman landing. Love the home invasion angle in 7. Yeah, it does have a very home invasion like vibe to it. I am very much liking that too because so many times it's been the build up to Ghostface getting in the house, and now he's already inside the house, which is awesome. So I agree. Dean says never knew girl. Mhm. Yep. Or they wrote a big enough story for 2 movies so far. Maybe. One thing I noticed the 40 times I've watched this, Ghostface seems smarter and more strategic, like more worried about positioning and not so much overpowering people. There's a part later that shows that. What part are you talking about? So I can make sure I stop on that. I'm going to predict it. We are getting a Kevin Williamson Scream trilogy. Maybe, maybe we can do it. Okay, so he only wrote 1, 2, and 1, 2, 4, and now 7. Okay, so he didn't write 3. My apologies on that. Gaby says if they're smart, we'll get a cliffhanger ending, and then all of us YouTubers will do all the marketing for Scream 8 with our endless theories and coverage. Correct. Yes, I mean, we are in a day and age now where we here are, this is what we're doing. We're marketing the movie by talking about it. Davey, I know that you did a breakdown of it as well. You also did a live trailer reaction, and so many other people did too. Yeah, we live in a day and age where kind of like, you've got people that talk about movies online that are just able to help market the movie and talk about it, right? So perhaps Bretman says, "Definitely want Ghostface to win. He slash C deserves to win." Honestly, that would be new. That would be interesting. Or if we don't like, see, this has been one that I've always kind of maybe would like is, and it depends on, how they end up ending it. But what if like they don't show Ghostface, they don't show who Ghostface is in this movie and he does win and then we get a Scream 8. That would be something that is completely never been done before. But how would you guys feel? Would you guys feel duped out of seeing a Scream movie and not knowing who Ghostface is until the next movie, until Scream 8? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that because that's kind of like an idea. Like that's the only way that I feel like Ghostface could win is if we don't see who Ghostface is in this movie, the person gets away and then they're back for Scream 8 and then at the end of Scream 8 we find out who it's been for the 2 movies, right? That's the only way that I can see it, but maybe I'm just thinking very bare bone basic or like I haven't had a whole lot of logic for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment. Super Tenor, what's going on? Hello, welcome in. Glad to have you in here. Some of this stuff we are seeing in the trailer might not be in the actual movie. That is true too. It very well could be the case. We've seen a good amount of stuff where, you know, um, there have been things that have been in trailers that don't make the movie, or it's shot differently, and they do this stuff to throw you off as an audience member. Because I do think that we get a good amount of substance here in the trailer, but I mean, my obvious hope is that they're not just giving away stuff like that opening kill with the girl falling on the knife and landing on Ghostface. I really hope that that's not like the end of it. Like I hope that we actually extend from there and get a more drawn out kill so he could do his knife slash. Or it's just gonna, do that. Or as Davey said, maybe Ghostface burns down the house in the beginning and that's it. And then we get the title card from there. So Chris Schubert says that, or Schober, I'm sorry. Evil Returns takes place 2018. Evil Returns Chapter 2 takes place by kills. Evil Returns, the final chapter, takes place storyline, takes place and ends. So is that the Halloween fan film that you were talking about? Oh, the Mark scene in the building. Oh yeah, with all the plastic. Yeah, that scene. So yeah, we're gonna continue here as we. So here's Ghostface getting ready to stab into the freaking wall. Yep, right there. I'm sure she moves her head just before the knife comes in, right? So, Ghostface stabs through the wall. I love shots like this because it creates suspense. Hopefully, at this point in the movie, she's a character and somebody that we can actually get behind, because I don't think that I don't think that Tatum is going to be like, a John Tate or an Allison or anything like that where she's like the boogeyman is dead or all that stuff. I really do feel like that Tatum is actually going to believe her mom, side with her mom, and be ready to go when she starts getting these calls. That's how I feel like Tatum needs to be. Like she can't be like Allison or John from the Halloween franchise because there's not room for that here. It's like we need to get it going right away. Obviously, everybody's gonna know who she is, simply because of her mom in general, right? But yeah, Dean Runner, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to have you in here with us, and I'm glad to have seen you throughout the chat here today. So thank you so much. Riley, what's going on? Riley says, "R.I.P. Gail. I fear it is time. It's either her or Sid, but I think the fans would be so pissed to bring her back to kill her." So that brings the big question. Is Sydney Prescott going to die in Scream 7? Are they going to pull that trigger? Do we feel as if they are ready to pull that trigger for Scream 7? Let me know in the chat, guys. Post comments. Let's do this. Let's see how many of you think Sydney Prescott is going to die in Scream 7. Or Gail. I mean, Gail, I feel like it is time. I agree, Riley. I honestly do think that she should have died in 6. They were still very scared to pull the trigger in 6, clearly. But her apartment chase scene in Scream 6 is literally one of the best chase scenes in the entire franchise. It would have been the perfect scene to pull that trigger. I feel like that they should have done it. They didn't, but Gail's back and ready for more Ghostface. We even get her classic line like, "Let's unmask this fucker." Right? That's exactly what they do. So yeah, but I mean maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time for Gail here. Riley also says, I mean, we didn't see Anna in the trailer and she is in it. So yeah, I mean, she could also be Ghostface as well. Gail has been in all 7 movies. She's not indestructible. I think Gail's time is up. Yeah, I mean, Gail would be she would definitely be the one to kill in terms of legacy characters in this one. I mean, it could be emotional. It really all depends on how they go about doing it. I mean, Dewey's death in Scream 5 was really well done. It was brutal. Um, I mean, we all knew as soon as the elevator door shut and he was going back to make sure that Ghostface was dead, that we knew it was coming. It was like the scene with Kylo Ren and Han Solo in the Force Awakens, right? Like we all knew it was coming, and that's how we felt watching Scream 5. So Bretman says the stab in the wall looks like a reference to Scream 2. Yeah, it does. This movie has a lot of franchise references as well, but I do like this a lot. And oh man, the phone call in between the title cards and the scenes, very cool. Very chills. I mean chills. Like the way that this is shot is and done is great. So Tatum says that she wants to be a fighter like you. Well, you're gonna have to kill some people then, Tatum. You're gonna have to kill some people. So this scene I did see a behind the scenes of. So it looks like that Tatum is gonna run into the little latte, and that's gonna be where she ends up hiding out and everything. But this scene I did see a behind and you guys may have seen the video too. It was online. I did see a behind the scenes of, Ghostface chasing what appeared to be Sydney Prescott's daughter into or he's outside the Little Latte trying to get in. That's what this scene looks like, and man, this is just a beautiful shot. Like, if you look at the lighting and you just look at just how you can just see everything behind Ghostface, the detail of the scene, and Ghostface stands out. I mean, he wears all black. If you're gonna put him in a scene like this, you want him to pop and the backlighting and everything. And I'm just talking about this from a film perspective, right? I mean, this is just a great shot. I love this shot of Ghostface, and there's quite a few good ones in here. Um, in this trailer. So we got Sydney saying, "You better not hurt her. I'm not gonna hurt her until you're here to see it." Now, right here, chat. Did you guys see that Chad gets out of the car with Gail? Chad is right here. Chad is with Gail as she pulls up here. I don't know where this is at in the movie, obviously, but Chad is with Gail. So that tells me that Chad and Mindy are likely with Gail when Gail shows up into the story. And they're here ready to help Sydney once again because they were in Scream 5. They weren't necessarily a help. to Sydney in Scream 5 because they were kind of the newbies to this and whatnot. Chad has now survived 2 movies. 1 movie, he got stabbed so many times in Scream 6, man. Is he gonna die in Scream 7? Is he gonna die here? So Chad is with Gale Weathers. Gale shows up once again, ready to save the day and kick some ass. We got Chad and Mindy right here, and it seems like Ghostface is actually also going to be in this scene because right here, this looks like the back of the house. There's an exit, so this looks like that. So she might be a bartender, or is that Tatum's friend? Is this Tatum's friend from earlier in the movie or earlier in the trailer? But regardless, I always like shots like this. She's behind a bar, you see Ghostface, and then we get Mindy hitting Ghostface in the face with something. But here's Mindy. We get a Mindy versus Ghostface. Is Mindy gonna die here? So they're showing a lot of stuff here with characters that we know, but it looks like she's gonna have a showdown. We got Chad right here. Maybe this is him reacting or realizing that Mindy's dead. So Chad is here. He's got a little reaction going. Okay, and then here we have Sydney Prescott's husband. What's his name? Mark. So remember when everyone thought that Mark was gonna be Mark from Scream 3? Like that they ended up together? Nope. Nope, that's not what happened. This is Mark. This is Sydney Prescott's husband, probably here just to die in Scream 7. We've heard about the man, and we're probably he's gonna be very short-lived on screen. So, Riley says Gail wanted to be killed in Scream 4, but they didn't. I really think she's done. Yeah, she wanted to be killed in Scream 4 and then went on to be in 3 more movies now. I mean, Gail's essentially a final girl just like Sydney is, man. They're like the 2. We've got Solar Guy saying that, this is going to be top 2 screams. Ooh, top 2 screams. Yeah, I'll be curious to see when we do our ranking, how this one fits in within the franchise. So we don't think that my guess is that these are the answers to, Sydney Prescott dying. So we've got, Solar Guy saying that yes. We've got, Team Lutton saying no. How many killers? 2 or 3? Yeah, like, how many killers are there gonna be? I think I asked that earlier, but yeah, how many killers do you guys think, is gonna be here? Bretman says, "Fuck no, Sydney better not. I promise right now, I will walk out if it happens." Same with Stu being alive. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting for sure. I mean, this trailer doesn't give anything, any sort of vibe like that. It doesn't say anything that, Sydney is gonna die. Spicy Oreo says, "I don't think so for a certain reason we see later in the trailer, that I brought up earlier." Yeah, okay. So let's see here. We've got, Dean saying, "Brett, man, you're safe." Nev has a contract agreement that she won't be Sydney if Sydney is going to get killed off. Oh, okay. Interesting. So then that probably solidifies that she's not gonna die. Davey says they should get rid of Gail because we need Sydney to be isolated in this movie. Gail is her last connection to being to the beginning of this story. Yeah, that is true. So if they're gonna kill a legacy character, they gotta go Gail here. They gotta go Gail. Um, so Mark here, we see Mark. He is a cop. Funny enough, right? That is funny. Mark from Scream 3, the detective, was helping Sydney and everything, and Mark is a police officer. Sydney just has a thing for cops, apparently. So now we see him right here. Now, is that him? That's got to be him, right? Because he's in this whole scene. Yeah, he's got the plastic all around him and everything. Uh, Oh, dude, they show Ghostface coming out right here too. Look, like you guys see this shadow right here, and then you see Ghostface slowly emerging through it. Ghostface probably is going to toy with him for a little bit here, but then we see him get tackled. We see the plastic over his face, and then we see Ghostface stab him, and then there's blood. Did we just see Sydney's? Whatever. That was just a light. Did we see Sydney's husband die in the trailer. I mean, there's blood. Like, and he goes down a number of times. I do like the shot right here of Sydney, running into the town. And I love towns like this, man. Like, it's a small town. I like the clock tower in the background. It's a very, it's got just a good vibe for the scene. So I do very much like that. Very atmospheric kind of shot. Where is my daughter? She's got the gun. Now, I do like this a lot here. That Sydney, like, I like how technology plays a big part into this whole thing. So, uh, let's see here. Tatum, listen to me. Just gonna have to shoot him through the wall. So I like that they're utilizing all the security cameras and everything for this for a fact. And I do very much enjoy it. Now this actually might be the scene in the coffee shop. Because if you look right here, so Ghostface probably makes his way into the coffee shop. Because if you look right here, you've got, like, what appears to be a milk fridge. I don't think this is a house. I think this is inside the little latte. That's what I think. She's looking at the security cameras inside the little latte. Like, if we look right here, we go back a little bit, because she might be running to the little latte, because maybe she got a notification indicating that the doors have been unlocked. It's Sydney, guys. She definitely has a lot of cameras at her house. She's got a lot of cameras, I'm sure, at her shop. I mean, she's not messing around for a fact. So I think that this might be her here. Like, let's see. Yeah, on the camera, you can't really. Yeah, so no, this is definitely the little latte. Because look, you see the tables over here. So this is all within the coffee shop. You've got him stopping to look at pictures and everything. So yeah, this is all within the little latte. So Sydney's definitely trying to run towards her. Let's see here. Gonna have to shoot through the wall. So yeah, I think she might be in the office, it looks like, or in one of the offices. Yeah, you got the calendar right there. Oh, it's November, it looks like. That's what, so it is fall. Looks like Halloween may have just passed. So, guys, is Scream 7 gonna be a Thanksgiving movie? Is that what's going on here? Are we gonna get a Thanksgiving movie for Scream? So, yeah, it looks like, the month is November, unless they're just ready to skip past unless they're just ready to skip past Halloween and get into November. But I do like this. I like a lot of this. This gives me vibes from the opening scene of the first movie, just with Ghostface, like, moving through, the Casey's living room and then into the kitchen, kind of creeping around and everything. That's what this gives me. It gives me vibes from the first movie. So shoot now. She finally shoots him, backs into one of the pillars, and of course, got to make sure that he's dead, right? Gotta shoot him in the head, man. Something's gonna happen to where she freaking misses too, dude. Because he sits up. Ooh, who's that? That one of her Yep, that's one of her friends, so that could be at the bar. So, yeah, I actually am starting to agree with Davey here. This could very well be the opening scene of the movie. This right here could absolutely be the opening scene. Gonna burn it all down. Yeah, so this could very well be the opening scene of the movie, and yep, so Scream 7, baby. And I like that little red slash that goes through it too. In theaters, February 27th, 2026. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking right now with Scream 7, man? Lots of good stuff. The more that I watch the trailer, the more that I very much like the vibe that we're getting with it. Because it's got the classic Scream vibe. Here, there's a few more things I actually wanna go through. So, share, there we go. So yeah, Davey, I think that you were right. If you're still in the chat here, I do think that this very well could be the opening scene of Scream 7 for a fact. Um, hey, what's going on? Kepikai, how are you? Glad to have you in here. It's okay that you're just getting here. That's okay that you're just getting in here now. The most important thing is that you're able to catch us. Welcome in. So T Parker says, I feel a better way of killing off Dewey would have been him dying while saving Sydney's daughter. Tatum as a redemption arc, full circle moment with him failing to protect Tatum in the original. That could have been really good. I mean, if Dewey was still around, then that could have been good. Or if they actually brought, Tatum in as a character in Scream 5, that also could have been a good case as well. So Spicy Oreo says one of the twins is definitely biting in this one. Which one? Who knows? I mean, they failed to pull the plug on Chad twice now. I mean, he should have died in the first one. He survived, and I loved his running joke in Scream 6, the core four. Um, so yeah, I mean, who knows which one it's gonna be? If it's Mindy before him, that's gonna actually be crazy. That's actually gonna be crazy. Antanas, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. Riley says they ruined things by telling us Stu is back, though. Could you imagine a recreation of the first movie where it is Stu shooting Gale in the door frame and then burns it to the ground? Yeah, I mean, like that could be really cool. I mean, that would have been cool. I do agree. I do think that announcing all the cast members was a mistake. Yeah, it's gonna get asses into seats for a fact. Um, it's gonna get asses in seats for a fact, but I do think that they could have just waited until the movie. Every one of Chad's stab wounds would, conveniently miss every single major vein and artery. No, literally, literally, it just conveniently did, right? And that is what we call everyone in the chat, say it with me, plot armor. Plot armor. That's exactly what that's called, and it shouldn't have been a thing. So, finally, Mindy's fighting back instead of getting stabbed in the shoulder and sleeping it out, right? I know, right? Yeah, I know. I'm mad about Mark too, man. It's like they teased everybody in Scream 5 thinking it was gonna be Scream 3 Mark, not a brand new Mark that, you know. How many killers? I wanna say 1 or 2, um, because Ghostface is giving, and he always does, he gives his own context as to how he knows Sydney and all that stuff, but he's specifically talking about, or whoever Ghostface is, guy or girl, he's specifically talking about their childhood, and he knows Sydney from childhood and where they grew up and everything. So it's definitely somebody connected to Sydney Prescott. So it could be 1, it could be 2, maybe it's 2, but I wanna say it's just 1. I wanna say it's just 1. So that's what I'm gonna say for now. That could change as we get more theories um, leading up to the movie, though. The trailer itself gave me a bit of vibes, Halloween Kills or the scene of Stu's house burning. Yeah, no, exactly. Just and I'm gonna steal this from the guy that commented on my Halloween Kills post on Facebook on Friday night. There's just something awesome about slashers with fire. I mean, this whole scene, dude, like this just looks cool. That's what that looks. It just looks cool with Ghostface walking away here. Like everything about it just kind of looks cool. And we get some violent stuff here, man. Yeah, like all that just looks like that shot right there too. It's just a cool looking shot. It's a great way to market the movie too. So Bretman says Sydney's husband could be the killer. Maybe couldn't take it being overshadowed by Sydney's history and fandom, and it is too much for him. More than likely not, but what if? Um, yeah, maybe, but I think that we just saw him die in the trailer. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that's not gonna be the case in the movie because they would have spoiled it. But yeah, it's like you won't be missed, right? Spice Oreo says that's what I'm talking about. Positioning Ghosty seems smarter and stealthier. Yes, he does seem very stealthy in this movie. And really in Scream 5, Scream 6, and even this one, he gets more stealthy every movie, right? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we get here. Gail and Sid's knockoff husbands are never safe, right? No, they are not. Denise, what's going on? One of our channel members here. Sydney having a lot of cameras definitely gives Halloween 2018 vibes. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Lori stacked up on cameras. I mean, she had cameras in every position that she could. So it absolutely doesn't surprise me here. Dean says, "Scream 7, this time the turkey is done." I love it, right? Because it said November. I just am putting together context clues based on what I was seeing in each of the scenes here. But yeah, I mean, you've got a fall vibe. This looks very midwesterny, right? And November, I mean, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Chicago initially. So during the Midwest, that's kind of the vibes, like the color palette as Tatum is walking up to her friends, very much like Halloween 2018. It's exactly what you would get essentially. So yeah, I mean, I'm very much enjoying the vibe so far. But yeah, it taking place during November, we're gonna get a Thanksgiving movie. So Spicy Rose says, "Well, this is her coffee shop, so it does make sense that she had cameras in there." Yep, and any business should. Any business should. Shabani, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. I mentioned you earlier because I was mentioning you and I talking, and you had said that you just have a vibe that you think it's going to be Stu behind the mask, right? You and I, when you and I were conversating, that was what came up. So yeah, that's something that could potentially happen as well. Tima Lutton says, "I'm going to say one or two Ghostface." Yeah, makes total sense. Braden, why? So this is Stu's sister. Why so many people assume that Leslie Maher is going to be in the film? Because Stu could have a sister, and maybe that's the killer. That's why so many people are assuming that, because they think that it's gonna be Stu's sister that, or maybe even daughter. Sorry, maybe even daughter. Maybe it's daughter. I don't know how I got the 2 confused, but, either daughter, maybe he had a long lost daughter or something like that with another girl at, Woodsboro. So that could be the case. It could be maybe a sister, maybe someone related to Stu, maybe someone related to. Well, we already saw Mrs. Loomis. We saw Billy Loomis's mom as Ghostface in Scream 2. So I don't think that that's going to be the case. But maybe it's somebody connected to Stu. That's why so many people theorize that someone is in connection to Stu and maybe want revenge for that. That's one of the things that I see a lot about online. I don't know which one it is, though. I don't know if it's sister or daughter, but someone related to Stu is what I'll say. And he says, "I'm gonna take my guess and say, what if it's Randy's sister?" Ooh, Randy. That would be something, wouldn't it? Mikey Roo, what's going on? The killer will be Anna Camp as Leslie and her daughter, best friend of Tatum. Okay, interesting. So that's what everyone is potentially thinking here. That Tatum's best friend, the blonde with the, plaid skirt on, is maybe related to Stu. I mean, she does have the blue eyes, she has blonde hair, she seems like she can fit the connection to Stu as well. So, very much could be the case, 100%. Yeah, that would be, McKenna's character, I believe. Yes. Apollo says, notice Ghostface is shown multiple times, and this Darth Vader like breath is take. Could it be Stu battle damage from the past? I mean, it could be. Absolutely, it could be. Now, what I'm getting from this trailer, um, is kind of like, I don't wanna say it's almost like a prime Ghostface, right? Like, right now in It Welcome to Derry, we're getting prime Pennywise. Um, it kinda reminds me of prime Darth Vader that we see at the end of Rogue One, where Vader is just going through all the guards and everything, and it's insane. Like, we see a lot of good stuff with that. Same thing is going on with Pennywise, same thing is going on with Ghostface. We are continuously getting a very vicious version of Ghostface, and I like that. I like that quite a bit, actually. So, you know, at the end of the day, my thoughts here is that I'm excited. I am excited to see where they're going to go with this story, especially without the absence of Sam Carpenter, Samantha. I don't know why I froze up right there. And Tara Carpenter. I'm curious to see where we're gonna go here. How they're gonna. I obviously we could see how they bring Sydney back into the story. It's just that this ghost face has located where Sydney is, and now they're after her and her family because that's what Ghostface does. He's simply after Sydney. That's it, right? But I'll be curious to see what they do if they mention Sam and Tara. Obviously, they have to because Chad and Mindy are still connected to the story as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I wonder if Sam and Tara will even be referenced in Seven. I mean, I feel like they have to be because Sydney might ask about them, and either Gail or Chad or Mindy might say something just briefly. But if they are, I feel like that it's just simply going to be something that is like a one line. Like they're not going to go into any detail about it because it's not integral to this story at all. So if they do mention Sam and Tara, it's just gonna be something that is just kind of like "Oh, this is where they're at," or, I don't even know if they're gonna mention where they're at because it really now at this point does not matter at all. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, with that. Fretman says, "Definitely would like to have the Carpenter sisters back one more time to finish their story with their mother." Um, yeah, I mean, maybe Scream 8. Maybe we're going now back to the roots here, bringing Sydney back for 7, and maybe for Scream 8, we'll just bring the Carpenter sisters back. Who knows, honestly? I mean, if they're in early development right now for 8, then they're gonna be looking at ideas, but the thing is too, is that Melissa Barrera and I've seen this on YouTube, it actually came up on my short feed. She was on a podcast. I can't tell you exactly what podcast it was, but she was on a show, and I said this, I think, at the beginning of the scream, the stream, um, that she was only contracted for 2 movies, and that's what she said. So that's what she said. She was only contracted for 2 movies, and she did her 2 movies, and she said that she's perfectly content with, where they're going with the story now. She said it's like a Netflix series getting canceled or something like that that you're a part of. But she was only contracted for the 2 movies and she did her 2 movies and she just seems grateful that she got her 2 movies and, that um she said that that's more than most people get, right? Which is true. You never know if you're going to get a sequel. So, yeah, we'll see. Mike from We Watched the Movie, love those guys, said that if the meta thing is there, isn't really a mystery. This time, Ghostface is just open about who they are interested in, who they are instead of hiding, like he mentions in the trailer. Yeah, maybe. That's kind of like what it feels like, right? Because Ghostface isn't worried about hiding. He is in Sydney Prescott's house, and he jumps out of her attic, or at least that's what it seems like in the trailer. It could be that all could just be stuff that is for the trailer and that actually doesn't happen in the movie. So, only time is gonna tell, and by time, I mean when we see the movie. That's the only way that we're gonna know, right? So, yeah, I mean, maybe that I would actually like that. I think that Ghostface not hiding here and actually just being out, ready to just tear some shit up is a really good way to go. So, yeah, I do think that that could be good. So this is something that, that could be done, like, "Hey, I talked to Sam, Sydney, she's not coming here, is she? No, she sends her love, but Kirby's taking her, Tara, and Danny someplace safe. She deserves, she deserves to have her happy ending." So, yeah, I mean, like, maybe it's something along that line. It could be the case. Apollo says, "Will the 30th anniversary of Maureen's death play a role in the killer's motive?" Now, that's a damn good question. Because yeah, this upcoming year is going to be the 30th year anniversary of Scream, which is cool because next year we can likely get Scream back in theaters, which I'm sure that we will. You'll be able to see Scream in theaters for a limited time for its 30th anniversary next year, I'm sure. So, I mean, that's a good point. Maybe that's the case. Maybe this is going to be the 30-year anniversary. So, yeah. Well, Hank Loomis is involved. Yeah, I mean that bringing Hank into this could be something as well. King Matthew III, what's going on? Welcome in. Are you going to do a watch party for Scream 7 after we watch it in theaters? I will do a watch party for Scream 7 after it is on streaming or after it's on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever. We are going to be doing a watch party for the entire series, leading up to Scream 7. We have one Scream movie every week. It's called The 7 Weeks of Scream. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to have different guests on. My sisters are going to be involved with it. They're going to be on for certain Scream movies. I think my sister Riley is going to be on for all of them. I think that's what she said she wanted to do. Um, is beyond for all of them. And then my sister Maggie, she's coming on for Scream 4. Brettman may be coming on for Scream 4. And Brettman, you could also do Scream 6 because I know that you like Kirby as well. We can chat more about that too. But yeah, we have the 7 weeks of Scream. We're gonna have one little gap week where we're gonna be talking about final theories for Scream 7 on the show. And then the next week we're gonna be doing Scream 7 and we're gonna do a full on review after we see Scream 7. So yeah, we have a ton of content coming up for Scream. I just wanted to give my overall thoughts on Scream 7. I wanted to show you guys what I see in the trailer. I think that there's a lot of stuff here that is really good that definitely does get me excited for Scream 7 because I'm just curious. I mean, it's a Scream movie, guys. I'm curious to see what we're going to be doing. So, yeah. I think the line Dewey said in the trailer about friends dying around you. Yeah, that's right. So we do that's totally right. Yeah, um we get 2 different lines. We get one from Dewey where he's saying friends dying around you is more directed at Gail because we don't see who the one killer says that to in the trailer. But the very final thing that we hear is absolutely Matthew Lillard. So that's absolutely Stu. Thank you so much, King Matthew, for bringing that up because that's a really good point. So yeah, the line at the end is definitely said by Matthew Lillard. So they're definitely going to be here for a fact. So yeah, and Team Lutton, I'm glad that you're in for that watch party. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Bex, what's going on? Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. I also think the guy from the Airbnb could be one of the killers because we don't see him be killed like we do the girl. Yeah, but he could die, and because I mean, I think that he's gonna die first, obviously. Maybe, maybe, maybe they just didn't show it. Maybe he is actually Ghostface, but his personality also doesn't give me the vibes that he's Ghostface. He gives me more Randy vibes. He just seems like a nerdy dude, you know, that they're staying in the stab B&B and, you know, or the psycho killer B&B, that's what she says, but it's the stab B&B because you see the stab posters and obviously stab is canon within the Scream movies and all that stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, Brett, we'll absolutely chat about that. Do y'all mind the darker look of the film? I've seen people crap on it a lot. I honestly don't mind it. Or do you prefer it to be brighter? I like it darker. I think we get a lot more nighttime shots, I feel like. It looks like that there's a lot of nights here. And if I'm not mistaken, like because in the first Scream movie, in the finale, it's obvious it takes place outside and inside. But I mean, Ghostface doesn't really do a whole lot of chase sequences outside. And it looks like if we go back here, where is the scene? This scene right here. Like we don't get a whole lot of shots like this of Ghostface outside. So I mean, like I think that this like I love this shot, but we don't see a whole lot of this outdoors. We mostly see stuff like this indoors. So seeing this outdoors now and it branching into a town, I think is great. And I think it makes the scope of it bigger while also kind of feeling small. Like you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Dean says it's dark because it was shot for 4K HDR and Dolby Vision. Yeah, I mean, and you can tell. I mean, these shots look absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I was commenting on the background earlier, and you could see every detail. I mean, look, you can see the detail on like the bushes and the street lights over here. Like, I mean, yeah, can you see that? I hope so. Sorry. Over here. You could see, like, the detail on that stuff, and it's just great. So, I totally like it. Paul says, "Braden, do you think Billy would have ever killed anyone without Roman's manipulation and exposing Maureen after, Maureen's affair with Hank? Was he a true psychopath?" Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I do think that Billy so, if he found out about it, I still feel like that he would've. I still because I mean, if he found out about it, I think that he's gonna do it regardless. I do think that Billy is a true psychopath, so I do think that, yes. I also believe Sydney will lose against Ghostface this time. That's been something that we've been chatting about here a little bit, Ghostface potentially winning in this movie. That would be different, and it would be something that I would totally be for. I was saying that it would be an interesting thing to see Ghostface kinda not be revealed in this movie, and then he ends up winning, but that's the only way that I can see it. Or maybe there are 2 of them and only one of them are revealed in this movie, and then the next one is, it's the same kinda case, but then they can save the next one for Scream 8. That's just a thought, but that could also be stupid, and that could also be what we call stretching the story into, an area that it doesn't need to go, if you will. So, I also think that Mindy will die because we don't see her in this scene. Chad gets out of the car with Gail in the trailer. Yeah, he does get out of the car with Gail, but Mindy could also be getting out on the other side. But maybe that's also what brings Gail and Chad together is that Mindy dies. Now, again, if Mindy dies before Chad, that is going to be absolutely nuts. That's going to be crazy because Chad should be dead already, right? Like, I mean, that's going to just be insane. Also love the small town vibes we're getting. Yep, I totally agree. Small town vibes here. Could not agree more. I think that it's absolutely fantastic. Liking a lot of the stuff that we're seeing here. And I think that it could be good. It could be good. I'm excited to see where they take the story, and everything. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this Scream movie, guys. And I'll take a couple more comments here, and then we're gonna go ahead and slowly start wrapping this up. You guys have been absolutely fantastic today, man. I've loved having this conversation with you guys, breaking down this trailer, going through it. Um, Chris Schober says, "Imagine if Stu was in prison for a couple years in a psycho ward, and do you think Sydney is would know to worry about it?" That could be an interesting theory. I want to say that he he would be a complete surprise for Sydney. That's what I want to say is that he would be a complete surprise. I don't think that she's gonna know about it. I think it would kinda take away from that. So, yeah, I think that it would be a complete surprise. I think yeah, right? I think that she would know if Stu faked his death, and all that stuff. So, yeah. But, it's a good question to ask for sure. From a fan perspective, it's a good question to ask. Absolutely it is. So also, I think the line Ghostface says reminds me where we grew up maybe was Jill, because Stu didn't meet Sydney until she was in high school, I believe. Maybe it is Jill. Maybe it could be Jill too. Jill could come back. I mean, who knows? Um, we'll see about that. Could be. It could potentially be Jill. For sure. That's a good theory too. But yeah, guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. You guys have been absolutely incredible today, man. This has been so much fun. I've had a great time here chatting about Scream 7 with you guys. We have so much Scream content coming up that you guys can stick around for it, man. We've got the 7 weeks of Scream coming up, which is going to start in January. It'll be the 7 weeks leading up to Scream 7. We're gonna be doing watch parties and kill rankings. That's gonna happen in one solo stream. So we're gonna be doing a watch party. We're gonna rank the kills and do a full-on review of how we see Scream with that. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for videos. Right now, every single week, I'm breaking down. I have short videos coming out talking about It Welcome to Derry, which I'm very much enjoying. We're 2 episodes in, with episode 3 coming out next Sunday. And then Predator, that review will be out this week. So lots and lots of content up and coming on the channel, and lots of Scream content coming as we push closer to Scream 7. But I want to say right now that you guys have been absolutely great today. The audience is always great in the chat. You guys keep these comments coming, and it makes the stream enjoyable. It makes it lively. I love seeing your guys' interactions with each other, man. And you guys are all a big reason as to what makes this so fun. So thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys provide the channel. Thank you guys for being here and commenting, and just let me know if there's anything that you want to see here in the future. Got a couple more comments here saying they both we're still in Woodsboro though, and I think Jill and Stu are the only 2 Ghostface that, could have lived. Yeah, I mean, that could absolutely be the case as well. You are late, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, we're wrapping it up here, but this was great, and sorry that you were late, but, hey, we have a lot of Scream content coming up, so, don't worry, we're gonna have a lot more Scream to chat about here. No one knew Richie's family, not even Gail or Kirby, who is a FBI agent. So why not Stu being alive? JK, I hope he's not alive. Yeah, him being alive would definitely be a surprise. I get notifications when you do Scream content for sure, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, lots more coming. Lots more coming. It's 10:30 a.m. Monday here in Sydney, Australia. If Stu is truly alive, he has been in Sydney. He always had a thing for Sydney. Oh, man, that's awesome. Hey, you know what? Wow, you are a whole day ahead. It's only 4:30 PM here in Phoenix, Arizona. So, yeah. But no, you guys were awesome today, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for all future videos. And as always, if you guys like this, don't forget to join this channel on its journey to 25,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much again for being here, and I will see you guys on the next stream. The next stream is going to be this upcoming Thursday. Destiny Faulkner, my girlfriend, is going to be joining me. We're going to be talking about movies that we watched in October. So lots of good conversation to bring about there. I will hopefully see many of you guys on Thursday night. I will see you guys then. Have a great Sunday night. Have a great start to your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.